Okay, your first practical lesson at Tone has begun. What we are going to do today is we are going to start on our board game design. Now, you'll have a sheet in front of you that already has the template of the 15 by 15 board game that you are going to be making, but I'll need to draw mine. So I'm going to go 15 centimeters here, 15 centimeters down, so, and finally 15 centimeters here. There we go. So nice quick template for me to be able to explain what we're going to do this lesson. So this is going to be the size of your board game. This is the actual size of your board game. Now, what I would say before you start designing and before you start drawing anything within this template, just remember this template is going to be your board game design. What we are going to do, we are going to cut this out, put a plastic film on it, and then we are going to stick it on the cardboard, and this is going to be your final product. Now, use the edges of the paper that you have got to aid you. If you want to practice first, please do, okay? Because whatever you put in the middle here is going to be the final article. Now, I do not have a game design on me, but all I'm going to do is give you some tips for you to be able to create an effective game that is fair for everybody that is playing. Now, remember, if it is a 2-player game, 4-player game, you need to make sure that it is equal on all sides to the finishing. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to split mine up into strips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 there. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 there. Then I'm going to draw these lines all the way through like so they are absolutely equal throughout. And that's the important bit. It has to be equal. You need to make sure that you are creating something. So if you've got a 4-player game, and let's say that player 1 only takes 4 steps to go to the finishing line, and player 2 it takes 6 steps, well, player 2 has a disadvantage and it's not a fair game, nor is that going to be any fun. So I'm just going to go through all of this like so, taking my time, making sure that I'm hitting the top and bottom nice and slow, like so. If you go over the line, it doesn't matter because you are going to be cutting it anyway. Just take your time and you should have finished article looking something like that. Now, if you are going for the snakes and ladders kind of thing, what I would do then is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 15 and put the lines across, and I've got equal squares. However, this is going to be a 2-player game, so I'm going to go down the middle here. Half of 15 is 7.5 centimeters or 75 millimeters. I'm going to go here 75 millimeters, and I'm just going to draw a line across. And I'm going to call this game Stairway to Heaven. Oh, what a magnificent name for a game. Okay, so looking at the stairs from above. Now, you could put the numbers down. That's completely up to you. So you could put numbers in here. That shows which step is which. You could put cards around there. It's completely up to you. Okay, what I do want to see, however, if you are putting numbers in, I want to see guidelines using a pencil, that you are using those guidelines to draw the numbers in, like so. Bubble numbers, I'm just using the top and bottom of that guideline. The recap for guidelines will be on the PowerPoint, okay? Inside here, I can then add some extra stuff. So if I've got let's say that they could reach this step and there is a hole there. So I'm just going to draw a hole. Some cracks, there we go, a hole in the stairs. That then, reading the rules would tell them you need to go back to the start. Okay, so you could put stuff like that in there. Now, once you have designed your entire game, like I said, I'm just giving you tips here, so I'm not going to be designing more than this. Once you have done your entire game, we will then start on rendering. But the first thing I want you to do is to think about what's your game going to look like, make sure that it is fair, use your ruler to measure everything, so there's a little bit of maths here as well, and split things up as well. Okay, once you have finished that, once you have done everything, what I would like you to do then is to go around your board game, anything that you are keeping. So if you've got any guidelines, you don't need to go over them with a black pen, but anything that you just want to make pop out, like so, you just go around with a black pen, like so, and then I'd colour that in to make it look like a hole later. Okay, now the teacher's going to pause this video and you are going to start creating your final board game design. Remember, use your design brief, use your specification, use the mind maps that you did at the beginning, have a look at your themes. So if you've gone for a football theme and I see Peppa Pig here, or if I see George Pig, well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, you are going to lose marks with that because you are not doing what you said that you are going to do. The teacher's now going to pause the video and you are going to start drawing your game's design. Then I will talk to you about rendering. Okay, rendering techniques. Now, gone are the days of us being in primary school. So I'm just going to draw two circles here and show you what I mean by rendering. Now, rendering is just a nice way of saying colouring in. Okay, so you will need to make your board game as colourful as possible. Whatever colours you want to use, you put them in. Okay, now there are two ways to render correctly. What we are teaching you here is a little bit of graphic design. So graphic design is linked with engineering, not necessarily engineering, but it can be linked. So the skills that we teach you within engineering can be used in graphic design, in construction, in architecture. But if you want to be a graphic designer and you want to do things by hand, this is a good technique for you to render. Now, I do not want to see anybody starting to colour in like this, okay? I don't want anything looking like a bird's nest. This is primary school stuff. Here at Tone, we make sure that we draw and render carefully and with pride. Okay, so the first technique, I call these the Cobra Kais, the Karate Kids. The first technique is paint the fence, where we are choosing one direction and we're going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so this one here, you can see I'm just going up and down, up and down. One direction is being picked, up and down, up and down. I'm not going side to side and horizontal or anything like that. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm going to make sure that I go up and down all the way across. Okay. Once you have done that, once you've gone up and down all the way around your design, you will see that you'll have one smooth finish across. So that is completely smooth, completely one tone all the way across. Now, if you do not like that idea, you can also not just only go up and down, you could go side to side. As long as you choose one direction and stick with it, that is absolutely fine. Now, my favorite way of sketching is using, once again, Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. So these are tiny, small circles, like you would if you were washing a car. Small, small circles over and over again, just filling that space, going over and over it. So I'm just going to do this inside bit here, over and over and over like so, until you get rid of all those white marks, until that tonal shading of your sketching is completely perfect and it looks nice and neat. So make sure that we are showing pride in our work. Okay, so those are the two ones. So you've got one direction, up and down, or painting the fence as I call it, and you've got those small circles, wax on, wax off. This is the technique that I want you to use to colour in your board game. So if I wanted this to be green, I would take my time, small circles like so, all the way across until that is completely done. Okay, remember, this is your final design. This is what your board game is and will look like. So make sure that you show pride in your work. If you have any questions, if you're unsure, please do ask your teacher. If there's anything that you have missed in the video, just rewind and find the bit that you want to know.